Good day everyone, we've just picked up the new Tommy camper from down in Ballarat. We've made our way north up to where the tools are and a workshop to document the build of this new camper as we go along. So there was three main goals when we bought this setup. One was we needed somewhere to sit out of the weather. Two was we needed our dog. Actually there's probably four. Three, we needed it to be as lightweight as possible because the cruise is already heavy, and we also needed to do it to a pretty tight budget. We'll log it all as we go. Yeah, expect to see a lot of beers drunk and probably a lot of swearing, but we are just pretty much winging it.
Hit subscribe and activate your notifications so you know when we drop a new episode in the build, and we'll take you along for the ride as well.
Stay tuned to see how bad we stuff this up.
Now that we've got the L-shaped seating in there, Josh has got all that, it is up to me now to cushion it and cover the cushions. So going to use this old mattress topper as the seat cushions inside. This is the fabric for the L-shaped seating. I'm going to chuck it in the wash on a warm wash first, so that way if it shrinks or anything, I won't have misshaped patches before I cut. So I'm going to give this a wash, I'll dry it, and then we'll cut it out and stitch it all up tomorrow.
Yeah.
1140. This one? Whoa. That obviously got the off cut because that is not the right one. What the fuck? What the fuck?
What have you done?
$7.90.
You f***ing
That's alright, this one will fit.
one measurement. Whole job and you
Well, lucky this one will fit.
Like cut once, diesel.
Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Alright, so let's see if this one fits. Alright. Beautiful. Okay, so now I've got the foam cut out. It is time to work out the size of our one-piece cushion cover. This is the formula to work out the size of the fabric to cover your cushion. Now I've got the length, the width and the thickness of the cushion here, so I'm just going to work that out now. So it will be 77 plus the thickness, which is 8, plus the seam allowance. So for the seam allowance I'm doing 1.5 centimeters. So the 1.5 equals, so 77 plus the thickness plus the seam allowance equals 86.5. So that is 86.5. Now to work out the other side, it will be the width plus thickness plus the seam allowance. So that will be, the width is 52, so 52 plus 52 plus 8 plus 8 plus the seam allowance is, so 52 plus 52 plus 8 plus 8 plus the seam allowance is 121.5. So 121.5. So this gives us our overall length. So I'm going to cut out a fabric of 121.5 with the 86.5. So that there is the way you would work out your one-piece fabric. Okay, so I've just used the template. I have traced what I need to cut out. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so I've got my fabric cut out. Make sure you wash and dry your fabric on warm machine wash before you cut it out. So that way, when you do wash your cushion covers for the first time, it won't shrink when you go to put it back on the cushion. So yeah, wash and dry it beforehand, then cut out your piece of fabric. Now I have got the fabric cut out here. I've got it folded in half. So what you want is the outside of the cushion on the inside of the fold. So I'm just going to call this the pattern. So you want the pattern on the inside, and we are going to cut out our corners. So on these folded edges, you want to match up your corners. Now this, to cut out your box corners, you want to use, I have created a template here already. So my cushion thickness is 8 centimeters. So you want your square to be half the cushion thickness in square. So this is 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters because my cushion is 8 centimeters thick. So I have created a 4 by 4 square. So I'm going to cut out my first corner here. So there you go, we've got our corners cut out. Now we're going to sew our box corners. So make sure you've got the pattern side in, you fold your corner over, and we are going to sew from the folded edge to the end. Now my seam length is 1.5 centimeters, so I'll be sewing down 1.5 centimeters from there. Make sure you start your sewing from the folded edge to the end, and we'll do all 4 corners now. So when you're sewing, it is good habit to make sure that you do a back stitch at the start and end of each sew. So that way it'll just stop your thread from coming out. There you are, so we've got all of our corners cut and stitched up. When you flip it out, this is your corner. We've got all of our corners stitched over, so if you just fold your fabric on top of each other, so this is the length of the this is the length of the cushion. Now what we want to do is we want to sew our zipper onto the length of the cushion. What you want to do is make sure with your zipper that you have enough length that you can go past the corner, so that way when you're unzipping your cushion, it'll just make for a bit easier to get your cushion in there. These are the corners that we just sewn. This is the inside pattern. You want to make sure that the zipper is also on the inside. So we've got the inside, and you want your zipper to be on the inside as well. So that way when it's turned the right way, this is what you'll see in the zipper. So make sure you've got the right amount. So this one goes, so you sort of want a bit it centered. Goes around that corner, and it'll go around this corner. Now before I sew the zipper on, I'm just going to stitch along the zipper just as a stopper so the zip doesn't go off. So I'm just going to put a straight line across the zipper on both ends. So there I've just stitched over the zipper to stop the zipper from coming out on both ends. I'm going to pin my zipper, just double checking the length again, that it's nice and centered. I can go this way a bit more. Because I'll be sewing this edge down, I'm going to just pin it this way. So that way I can pull the pins out as I go. Got my zipper pinned on. If you've never sewn a zipper before like me, I did learn that, I don't know if you can see it, but when you're looking at the zipper here, there's a slight little stitch line here in the middle of the edge between the zipper and the edge. So I'm just going to follow this stitch line here. Oh, the other thing you need to do is make sure that you change over to a zipper foot. So I'm just going to drop this foot and swap that out for my zipper foot. And there it is. So I've just changed over to the zipper foot, and I've just moved the needle, rather than stitching down the center, it is stitching to the left, sorry, the left. So as close as I can get to the zipper. Now I'm just coming up to the other corner. I'm just going to sort of flip that in. It might make that a little bit easier to stitch. There we go. Right, so the zipper is sewn on. So one side of the zipper is sewn on. So it'll look like this when it's all out. So we're just going to stitch it to the other side now. So I'm just going to line that up, fold my pattern on the inside. Now you want to be really, really sure that your corners line up. So really line that up, flip that over, and just tuck that in there. Now I know the zipper is on the inside, but we'll flip that over in just a minute. So now we are going to sew the zipper on to the other side. Now to do that, I'll just bring this down so you can see what I'm doing. So I have matched my corners up like this, folded this over like this. Now we want to bring the zipper edge up. So I'm just going to move that zipper so it is not right on the corner for me. We're going to fold the zipper up, and we are going to pin along here now. So if you can see that there. And my corners lined up, yay. All right, so let's sew the other side of the zipper. zipper past. Beer o'clock already. Look at this.
Wait till 9:15 at least.
9:15. Oh my god.
My coffee's empty, so maybe
Yeah.
I'll
Well, maybe I should have a wine. I am nailing this zipper stitch.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I think I am. Don't judge me. I haven't done this before. Okay, so I'm just going around this corner now. So we've just sewn both sides of the zipper now. So I'll just show you what it'll look like on the inside, like this, around our corners. When we sew down the other end, it'll hide the end of the zipper there. But I am pretty stoked with that actually. I do have to admit, the first cushion I did, it was rubbish. It was so bad. I was ready to burn it, but I was too tight-assed to buy more fabric. So anyway, this one is much better. Quite stoked with that. Kaz, you'll be proud. Almost there. We've just got 2 more steps to go. So we've just completed our zipper. Now we want to sew down the other sides. Now we want to sew down these sides. I'm going to finish off my coffee. Unlike Josh, I drink coffee in mornings. All right, so we're going to sew down here to box off. Before you sew that down, make sure your zipper is open so you don't have a hard time trying to get that zipper open after you've boxed in all your sides. Now I'm going to start the stitch down that side. Now I just wanted to have a look as to how I wanted to finish. Let me get a bit more light in there. How I wanted to look on the other side. So I was just sort of pinched a bit. You want to start that sew just above that line where you stitched over the zip. So I'm going to start the stitching just in front of that, so the zipper will go a little bit past the fabric when it's opened up. So yeah, I'm going to start my stitching down this side, just past the bit that we sealed off the zipper. And we're going in that my seam is 1.5 centimeters, so making sure that you're going in at 1.5. I'm just above that zipper line. Now you can pin down the sides, but really if your fabric's behaving, just send it. So I'm going to start my stitch above my stitching across the zipper. So I'm going to fold that over. It's a little bit fiddly because the zipper is so bulky. And there we go. That is both sides all done. All right, so this is the last step. Now we've got our cushion cover folded out, we've got our zipper ends, and we've got the two sides that we just stitched down. So we do now need to box out our other corners. Now this one's a little bit different than the last one, so don't use your first template. We are going to do it a little bit different. So I've just made another little template. So remember, my cushion thickness is 8 centimeters. So this side here, because it's got the stitch length here, it is still going to be that 4 centimeters. That 4 centimeters is half the cushion thickness. So it is going to be 4 centimeters here, but because this side does not have the stitch length, we are going to have the 4 centimeters minus the 1.5 centimeters. So this is only going to be, for me, 2.5 centimeters. So I've got this one pre-cut out. So this is 4 centimeters by 2.5 because it is less the seam distance. So I'm just going to cut that out. Alright, so now we have both of our corners cut out. This is the last step. So what we want to do now is stitch these corners. Now it's going to be a bit different to what we did last time. This time you are going to pop corners open like this, and we are going to stitch it along here. So again, I'll just show you, we have the corner that we just cut out. Now we're just going to reach in and pop out those corners and flatten them out. I hate frayed edges, so I am just singeing the threads because I don't have an overlocker, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just probably being lazy, but this is how I know how to stop it from fraying. It's all done. So there you have your sewn edge there. That's bright enough and you can see that. So that is it. So now that is all sewn up. Okay, let's get the cushion. So as a practice, I did a mock-up, make sure I knew what I was doing before I used the good fabric. So let's now I'm just going to use the mock-up cushion sort of like a mattress protector. Nice. There it is. So just gonna zip her up. Wow, I'm absolutely stoked with how that's come up. But yeah, that is cool. So I've got, it is a little bit baggy because I am using the mattress topper. It is a little bit more roomy in here, which is great because I'm just going to store, like I'm going to fold up my picnic rugs and throw rugs and stuff that we usually only pull out when it's cold anyway. So that, okay, so I am going to show you the first one, just so you know it is okay to stuff up. And it's not always perfect. So this is the longer cushion, and I'm not overly proud of my zipper attempt, but I'll just show you. So I wasn't quite too sure when I was zipping down after we sewn on the zip and we zipped down the side, I didn't really know where to start, so I just sent it. But you can see that because I didn't stitch properly, you can see that the edge of the zipper is a bit wonky, and then the edge of this zipper is nice and hidden. So that's one stuff up that I learnt, but the second one is heaps better. I'll show you this side. This is probably the dog's breakfast side. yeah, I mean, it still works, it's fine. It's not pretty, and it's the back of the seat anyway. So I've just gonna hide that to the back of the seat and not look at it again, but if that is what it should look like, that's what it doesn't look like. Hey, the new one is heaps better.
Oh, well.
But it doesn't matter. Let's go put it in the camper.
So is this the walk of fame or the walk of shame? What do we got going on?
Probably a bit of both.
Let's have a look, eh?
Alright.
Oh, good, glare out of that.
So, oh, it looks so good. A bit of rubbish. Oh no, that's good.
So we'll peel it off, yeah.
Look at that.
How's that?
There it is. That is. Let me show you. These are our cushions. That looks cool, hey?
It's real good. I like it.
I'm really stoked with it. I'm happy with how they've turned out. The navy really goes good with the white internals as well. If you're interested in how to build an L-shaped seating or anything like that, check out our other videos. This is just one part of our canopy fit out. And it was the one-piece cushion covers. I hope you liked it. I hope it helps. If you have any questions or if I didn't explain anything enough, please just drop me a comment and I will get back to you.